Dan, and we're back for another episode of Full Force Mixed Martial Arts. And I'm happy to get him on, squeeze him in just before his massive fight date this Saturday. Nathan Haywood, Little Red, how we doing, Mucker?
I'm spot on, mate. I'm just there we go. That's a bit better sideways. I'm good, mate. I obviously last little hurdle now. Last bit of just getting a bit weight off and stuff like that. Now too major.
Brilliant. Are you excited to be on the card first and foremost on Saturday in front of your hometown?
Yeah, it's amazing for me, mate. It is obviously like there's not like as many local guys on. Like there's only me, Dan Bainbridge. I think we're the only two local guys actually. So we sort of flying the flag for the Northeast for this one. So we're gonna have to do good.
Absolutely. Well, Dan, when I spoke to Dan the other day, he said you've done all right with tickets, so we're going to be expecting a noisy utilitarian, you know.
All right, I think it'll be a good reception for us both. Like definitely, I think we'll probably get as good a reception as like the main event and stuff. I can only imagine.
Definitely. So, how did it all start for you, Nate? And where did you first walk into a gym? Where did you first get the taste of combat sports?
So I was just like a pretty hyperactive kid, and like I never really took to football or anything like that. And then my dad took us to a kickboxing class when I was like little, and I just loved it. Like it was like it was meant to be. Like as soon as I was there, like you could just tell I liked it more than the other kids there. Like I never wanted to miss it. And then from there, I just wanted to do everything. So I started kickboxing, then I did karate, then I did taekwondo. Soon as I found out about MMA, I got like straight into like grappling and stuff as well. Like I went straight to an MMA gym. So it's just been like a lifelong thing for me, mate. Like it was just like school for me when I was a kid. Like I didn't really know there was an option not to go. I just thought that's what you did. Do you know what I mean? So it's just been my life, really.
Love it. So, would you think because you had a little taste of different arts and then you jumped into the full mixed martial arts, you think you was not a step ahead, but you was a bit more well-rounded than the others? You knew a bit more about it.
I just think I was a bit like when I was younger, especially. I think I was just a bit more used to competition because like I've always done like even like no, there weren't like big competitions like taekwondo fights and stuff when you're little, and like karate ones and kickboxing fights. Like they all like kind of valuable experience really because it's the same nerves, you know. Like especially when you're a kid, like you don't know the difference between like whether you're getting elbowed or kicked. Like it's still like competing in front of people. So I think just doing that from a young age has probably just made me like more of a competitor and more of like a ringer. Like I deal with my nerves really well.
Absolutely. This will be your 20th mixed martial arts fight, all in all, won't it? Amateur and pro. So it's fair to say that you've got a lot of experience, but in terms of stepping up onto the big stage now, big crowd and stuff, what are your feelings towards that? And do you think the being on your local shows, Rise and Conquer and stuff, are going to help you for Saturday?
Do you know, I was speaking to my coach about this the other day, and like I honestly can't say how it'll make a difference, you know. Like I imagine like because like the Rising Congress that like they put on and like kind of sold out, and like obviously it's a smaller space. So I imagine, you know, like when I walk out, it's gonna feel like not the same. Like maybe the walkout might be a bit different, and I'm definitely gonna enjoy it as well and like take it in because like I want to be there and like I've like worked hard for it, so I'm definitely gonna enjoy the walkout. But I honestly can't imagine like when like we standing there and they're like, "Oh, are you ready? Are you ready?" I imagine it's just gonna feel exactly the same, you know. Like it's not like I'm gonna be looking around and be like, "Whoa, look how many people there is." I'm just gonna be staring straight across. So I imagine it'll just be the same.
I think that's a brilliant attitude as well, because if you think of it like that, and then you just think, well, it's just another fight. It don't matter where it is, don't matter how many people there. It's just another fight.
Yeah, like I honestly like I don't see like some people must like really care like how much like other people's perception of them, because like for me like a fight's a fight, and it's like you kind of be more nervous than you are for a fight already. Do you know what I mean? Like you're gonna try and like take each other out really. So I think it's pretty intense already. So I don't think it'll be any worse.
Right, your opponent Roman Paulus, he's a veteran of Oktagon. He's been there since day dot. 12 professional fights. Do you know much about him? Have you studied, without giving too much away about your preparation? Have you studied him? Have you got his negatives and his positives? Do you know what the game plan is, without giving too much away, obviously?
Yeah, we've got a pretty solid game plan for him. I think you know, like I definitely don't think he would admit this on camera, but I 100% think his game plan is just going to be like make it as boring as possible, hold us up against the cage, hope I get tired, and maybe like finishes later on. Like I honestly can't see him like having any other game plan than that. Like I don't think he's like, I can't imagine he's thinking, oh, I'm going to have a technical striking match with him at range. Like I just think he must know that he would get battered doing that. Do you know what I mean? So I think his game plan is just going to be to hold us up against the fence. Like even when you're watching with like bigger people, that's sort of what he tried to do. Just sort of like getting under over clinch, control him on the fence. Like to be honest, it's not even the worst like game plan, to be honest. Like because if he's holding up against the fence and they're not getting off, like you may as well win like that for him. But like obviously, I'm just going to stand there and let him do that. So it's going to be hopefully a bit more tricky for him with me.
Absolutely. The Oktagon's promotion now, they've been smashing it on all platforms, haven't they, recently? What's your firstly, because it's your Oktagon debut, what's your impressions of the promotion and the big cards in the like Czech Republic and Germany and stuff? Do you see yourself being on one of them?
I hope so, mate. I'd love to like travel about and stuff like that. Like obviously, like when you get into the sport, you hope that you're going to get to like travel around and stuff like that, and like see a bit of like the rest of like Europe and stuff, and it, like especially like a lot of like Eastern Europe. Like obviously they're not like normal holiday destinations and stuff like that. So like getting out there and that and just see a bit of that would be cool. Yeah, obviously the promotion that they've put into it so far, like even like you've obviously noticed it. It's just been like amazing, really, and like I don't know, like I don't exactly know who I'm dealing with, but all the people and messages and that are like lovely and stuff like that, and like the same like happy with like the stuff that I'm posting and stuff like that. So yeah, it's just been like it's been a dream so far, mate. It's been nice and easy, and like like I don't really like get sick of the messages and stuff and asking us for stuff because like at the minute it's all pretty new and exciting for us. So at the minute I'm just like, yes, like it's mint. So like even like doing stuff like this, I'm obviously getting more people asking us to like do these like video interviews and stuff like that. It's just all mint to me.
Absolutely, it's just getting your name out there, especially at this time where you're only 4 fights into your pro career. But speaking of being early into your pro career, what sort of reputation do you want to set for yourself early on?
And you know, right? I used to like really fascinate over like having these like all these like knockouts and stuff like that, and I still would like them, like, but for this one, I'm sort of like I'm less fixated on it. I just want to get that win, but like I feel like that's going to lead to more finishes anyway because I'm just going to be more relaxed in there and like I'm not going to force anything. I think the only thing that matters is you rack up these wins like for your reputation. So I guess I just like to be like I just want to win like fights and just have a reputation for being like really good, like no matter how it is, like. I think my style's exciting anyway, so I don't really have to worry about that. Like, it's almost like I think people who like don't really have a lot of like finesse or a lot of like flashiness don't like have to worry more about that. But for me, like even if I went in there and fought normal, I think I would still get like oohs and ahs off the crowd. Do you know what I mean? Like the stuff that I just do normally. So I think that'll sort of set itself. But for me, I just want to get in there and get wins.
But both of you are coming into this fight off losses. Now, I've not spoke to him because he's not the home fighter. But from your perspective, Nate, did the loss affect you in any way, mentally, physically?
I do you know, right? I think if you look at our last fights, we both sort of had like similar things happen to us. Like we both shot a bad shot, and then we both got choked. So I imagine we've both fixed that issue in our game. Like I think with me, it was definitely more of an impatience thing. I think with him, his was just like a bad shot on the fence. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, and he got sort of tied up as well. But yeah, I think I imagine he'll have like fixed that, like what he did wrong, and like obviously it sent him down a weight class, so maybe it affected him more than it affected me. Yeah. But I feel like for me, it just made us like more switched on and train harder. Like I used to like sort of like I do like I am still really confident in my skills, right? But I just thought that last fight, I was just like, oh, I'm gonna like smash this guy, like everywhere. And like I wasn't like I feel like I was knocking him a bit and I was definitely going my way and it was mine to lose when I did. But I like you just kind of slip up, but like when you're like fighting like good guys and stuff like that, like you do one thing wrong and that's it, mate. So obviously I fixed the issues what I had in that fight, but I think it's probably everyone says this, and every time they say it, I'm always like, oh, it's like a load of shite. But it's probably a positive, like because of the way the attitude that I've got towards training and that now, like it's just all about technique and all about like making the right decisions. And it's not like going there and like, oh, I have to finish this guy. It's like you have to be perfect for 15 minutes, like perfect. So I think I'm going in there with like a better attitude this time. And like, what can you do, mate? Like at the end of the day, like he got caught us in the guillotine. I got stuck. Like it is what it is. Like I feel like it would be worse if I really felt like when I was in there, I give up. Like I was like fighting and I was like, oh, I shot this shit shot, or I give him my arm, or I give him my neck. But I was just scrapping and I got caught. So it is what it is.
Well, at least you're on it, and at least you've admitted that that moment of mad complacency as really you've looked at it as a positive because you've plugged all those holes where you feel like you needed to. So as we've just both mentioned, both of you coming in off a loss. What can we expect from Little Red on Saturday night? What are you gonna be wanting to make a statement?
Yeah. Obviously, my first fight on Oktagon, so I want them to like think, oh, this kid's like something special as well. So I'm definitely coming in with like something to prove to just to myself as well, like coming off me first pro loss. But like like I've said this before as well, but like I lost my first 3 amateur fights, and I'm here. Do you know what I mean? Like I won like 9 in a row or something after that. Like it means like one slip up means nothing to me. Like you beat everyone that quit, so I'll just like keep going. Like, and I think he'll probably be hungry for this one as well. Like obviously he's got like a few he's got like a loss now, and like to be honest, he's still got a good record, especially because of how young he is in the game and stuff like that. Like I say, a few losses means now, but I think that he'll really want this one bad as well. So I think we're just gonna. I think it's gonna be like a canny clash, mate. I think it'll be a good fight no matter what for Octagon I do. I can't see it being boring.
Absolutely. So, would you mention about losing your first 3 amateur fights, and a lot of people in the amateurs now they'll give it up and stuff like that. So, the position that you found yourself in now, what advice would you give to people that have had that mindset? Because you're on a massive promotion now, so it's not about getting beat; it's about where things can change in an instant, can't they? So, what advice would you give?
To like an amateur fighter.
Yeah, yeah,
So I think the most important things is like focusing on your skills. Like I think that a lot of people like think like, oh, I just need to be like, you do need to be like fit and like really strong and stuff, but just like focus on your skills and like only like I know it's like cliche, but like it's you versus you. Like you can only compare yourself to yourself and you'll just get better with consistency. Obviously, you need to be really honest with yourself and where you're training and are you getting better and is your coach constantly evolving and moving with the times? But yeah, as long as you feel like you're learning stuff all the time, like and you're getting better, I don't see how you can not get somewhere really, really good eventually. Do you know what I mean? So just stick at it and like if you're gonna do it, just put your full effort into it, really, and then you'll get somewhere. It's just the same as anything, really, mate. Like you can be an expert at anything, you just need to put the time in.
absolutely. You can't just play at it, can you? You've got to fully commit to it. Um, we've touched on you being in the home crowd and you're going to have people there making noise, but one thing we haven't touched on is the exposure of the TV streaming. So we've got Channel 4 in the UK and DAZN worldwide now. That is absolutely massive for you, that, isn't it?
Do you know more about this than me? So is Channel 4, will I be live on Channel 4 as well, or is it just the main card?
The whole lot of it's on live on Channel
Oh,
4
that's
and on
amazing. That
DAZN.
it's class. Like I can't believe it. Like
So
it's gonna be crazy.
Dan's fights on YouTube. They put one fight for free on YouTube, but it's being streamed on all three platforms from the beginning. So yeah, you'll be on them all.
Oh, it's amazing, mate. It's unbelievable, isn't it? Even if it was just on DAZN, it would have been crazy. But like Channel 4 is like amazing, like straight on like free TV and stuff over here. Like that'll be like massive for us. Do you know what I mean? I can only imagine. Like it's mint as well, because like to be honest, most of my family can make it and that, but I do have some friends in that like are further afield, so it'll be good for all them to be able to watch it.
Yeah, mega man. Right, well,
I'm not doing
Nathan.
well with this phone, I'm juggling it.
Right, well, you go and relax after your sauna, brother. Thank you very much for your time, and I will see you Friday at the press conference.
See you Friday at the press conference, mate. Thanks very much.
Thank you, Nathan. Take care, brother.
See you in a bit, mate.